Hello, hello, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines from our city, our state, our country. We take a look at ideas and things that are going on here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can combine all of the above and have an amazing life here in the city as a community of English speaking locals. It is always a pleasure to get together with you. And today, on Saturday, June 19th, we have a bunch of news about Dolores, the new tropical storm that is raising eyebrows. It's Dolores, not Delores. I don't know how Dolores got to be spelled with an E in English when the word is a Spanish word that is spelled with an O. Dolores, which means pains, is a very popular name down here. In fact, we had a very famous movie actress who has passed away, from the golden age of movies in Mexico. Her name was Dolores del Rio, and we frequently joke that her name in English would be Pains of the River. But don't get me started. I start rambling, and we're supposed to start with the news, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So forgive me for just going places. It's Saturday, and somebody in the comments early on said, I want funny Saturday. So we'll try to be a little bit funny as we go along. What else do we have? We have tropical storm. We have new stoplight numbers. Some states are not doing so good. How are we doing? We'll see in the news. I also want to tell you a little bit about my afternoon yesterday at La Isla. I went to the movies. And I saw a little bit of that folkloric ballet, and I captured some videos that I'm going to share with you. And I also want to send yet another love letter to the one and only the wonderful Estelle Caswell. And if you don't remember who she is, I will gladly remind you. And last but not least, we mourn the passing of one of our Coffee and Headlines heroes. So let's get started. Well, as predicted, a new tropical storm, Dolores, with an O, Dolores, it formed in the Pacific Ocean yesterday afternoon, and it is headed our way. Dolores is expected to reach us during the afternoon, manifesting itself with rain showers at intervals and also high winds. So no swimming today in the ocean, please. As a reminder, one of the advantages of Puerto Vallarta's privileged location as far as severe weather goes is the fact that we are deep inside a large bay, and in this particular case, the tropical storm will pass over the mountains of El Tuito before it reaches us. And it is this passing over the land that decreases its intensity. So we're very fortunate here in Puerto Vallarta because we're protected by the bay, the bay being this little itty bitty guy here. In very rare occasions have we been hit by tropical weather that has come like literally angled enough to enter, but we are very fortunate in that regard. Nonetheless, of course, the local civil protection department is up in arms, making sure that everything's going to be okay during the next 2 to 3 days. So just stay safe wherever you are. Next. Oh, yes, the national COVID-19 stoplight system has been updated for the next 2 weeks, bringing unsettling news to several states in the country. As you can see from this graph, uh, eight, states, 8 states have switched back to yellow, including Mexico City, and 5 states remain in the orange, Jalisco and Nayarit. Of course, we remain in the green, which is a good thing for us. In his announcement, though, Hugo Lopez Gatel, our health undersecretary, also indicated that there's a nationwide 14% increase in COVID cases. 2 weeks ago, we were on week 21 of consistent decreasing numbers of COVID cases, but now we are showing a 14% uptick. This is concerning, and hopefully people are going to do whatever needs to happen so that we can all stay safe and we can keep controlling the pandemic as best as we can. A common conversation among my friends as it relates to the lack of response by folks in their 40s to get vaccinated has circled around the topic of whether work, that is, employers, are actually allowing their staff to leave work to get vaccinated, and whether employees could lose their job in doing so. Yes, believe it or not, there are a number of people out there that are fearful that if they leave their work to go get vaccinated, they will lose their job. Well, the Secretary of Labor has published a reminder that the businesses are obligated to follow guidelines in case of a sanitary emergency. And we are, by the way, if you didn't get the memo, in the middle of a sanitary emergency. And in case you are wondering, it is Article 32 of the Federal Employment Law that clearly indicates that if you're working or if you have employees in Mexico, they need to go. They need to be able to go and take care of their health. And this article that I'm quoting also includes a link in which you can file a complaint in case your employer is not allowing you to get vaccinated. This is important. Let's talk about flights. A number of national airlines are increasing their flights to Puerto Vallarta during the summer months, which on the one hand means that more tourism is headed our way. But on the other hand, for those of us that live here as locals with cabin fever, it also means more places for us to travel to from Puerto Vallarta. For example, Viva Aerobus has direct flights to and from Monterrey, Ciudad Juarez, along with, and also with flights to Guadalajara, Mexico City, and Tijuana. Regional airline TAR has flights to San Luis Potosí, Guadalajara, Querétaro, and Aguascalientes. Volaris flies to Mexico City, Monterrey, León, Querétaro, and Tijuana. And Aeromar has been making noise with their new connection to McAllen, Texas. You fly from here to Guadalajara, make a quick stop, then you're over the border in McAllen. All these airlines are expected to increase their flights during the summer months. So if you've been thinking, I need to get out of here, I don't trust the bus, but I would feel comfortable on a plane, well, this is something you may want to consider. So there you have it. We just breezed through all those news. Let us now switch over to the weather. Yes. Snarky Weather says, it's a nice day, so I better not hear one fracking complaint out of you. Well, it's nice and cool, that's for sure. I don't know if it has rained as much as I hoped it would rain, but hopefully it will continue to rain enough to bring some cool air to our city. It's not like we want to be drowned in the middle of a weather situation either. But let's see what we have. We are at 26 degrees right now, feels like 30. Humidity is high, 91%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit is 79 degrees, I'm sorry. And there's a 15% chance of rain right now. And our weather indicates that it's going to rain this morning. It's going to start again in the evening with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 25. Tomorrow, Sunday, we can expect a humid and mostly cloudy day with a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 25. And Monday will be a humid and overcast day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature of 24. And that is what we have for our weather. Let me clear my throat really quickly. Oh, that was good. And now we continue with our this, that, and the other. I want to tell you a little bit of my afternoon adventure yesterday. I went to the movies. I went to see In the Heights. I wanted to go see In the Heights so bad because I had been reading about it. I wanted to see if it was uh, overblown or if it was real or if it was amazing. And it blew my mind. I'm not going to spoil the film for you, but it is such an important work of art. And it is so beautifully done. And that's all I'm going to tell you. So, the plan went like this. This is strictly a local report. For starters, the Cinepolis ticket app has been down for weeks. So it's not like you can easily get tickets. And you want to get tickets ahead of time because you want to know where you're going to be sitting. Um, and so I figured I'm going to try the website, and I tried the website, and I was able to secure 2 tickets for the VIP movie theater, but I got no confirmation on my email. There was no money taken out of my bank account, so I was a little wiggy, and I said to my friend Logan, who went to the movies with me, I said to him, you know what? I'm just going to go to La Isla early. I'm going to grab a bite in one of their very successful restaurants. And I'm going to sit in an air conditioned space. I'm going to bring my yarn and I'm going to be playing with my hook until you get there. So I got to La Isla, and lo and behold, the good news is that while their app is still down, you can buy tickets through the system. So I got to the movie theater, I gave them my name, and they're like, oh, yeah, we have your seat. So I got my tickets printed. Then I went looking for a place to sit down and have a small meal before the movie. Well, that proved a little bit more challenging than I thought it would be. You see, pretty much every single restaurant in La Isla did not survive the pandemic. And this is very sad news. Starbucks is still there, but just about every other restaurant, except for one, and I'll mention that restaurant in a second, every other restaurant, every other eatery, like a sit down place, Italiani's is gone. The other beautiful place, there was a seafood place. Um, they're gone, and this may have been a combination of high rent and the pandemic. It could have been a number of things. But the one restaurant that was still there, and of course it's a very large franchise in Mexico, is Vips. And I figured, oh, well, Veeps, I don't know that I want to sit down at Veeps. My memory of Veeps in town is the one that is located in front of the Maritime Terminal. And that one's always crowded. And I figured, I don't know that this is what I want. But I walked into Veeps and I was so pleasantly surprised because the downstairs is kind of like a lobby. The restaurant is really upstairs. And when you get to the upstairs, I found myself in this gorgeous, very high ceiling, gorgeous, fresh, cold, comfortable restaurant with barely any people there. So I sat at Vips, had a wonderful order of chicken mole enchiladas, and that was it was absolutely wonderful. It was unexpectedly spacious and comfortable. So that's where I had my lunch. While I was lunching, I was chatting on my phone with some friends, and a friend of mine told me, well, you can get a nice bite at the pool on the roof of the Fiesta Inn hotel that is right in La Isla. And I figured, ooh, I'm going to go scout this. So I figured there's a pool up there. Maybe they have a day pass. Maybe it would be a comfortable place to hang out. So I finished my lunch. and I walked to the entrance of the. I hope this is not boring you, but this is our very mundane lives here in Puerto Vallarta by yours truly. So I walked to the entrance of the hotel, and the entrance of the hotel is locked. They have a little paper printed sign that says, "For security reason, if you're a guest here, use your card. Otherwise, this door is closed for security reasons." And I thought to myself, well, and how the fuck are you supposed to get into the hotel to check in or to arrive? And I know that there's an entrance on the basement. So I figured, am I going to go down to the basement to find out if I can get in, just to find out if they have a restaurant that I might be able to use or a day pass for a swimming pool that I might be able to use? No fucking way. Too much effort. So I decided I'm not going to do this. And I went over to the movie theater, which I knew they have comfortable seats, and I knew that they have air conditioning. So I just sat there for like an hour and a half with my latest crochet project, and just sat there and enjoyed the air conditioning, and it was absolutely lovely. 3 times the lovely staff at the movie theater came to me and asked me, "So are you coming into the movie theater? Are you going to sala number 2?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to sala number 1. I'm really early, but it's really comfortable here. If you want, I can order a cocktail or something while I wait." And they're like, "No, no, no, stay chill. You're fine. We'll let you know when your movie starts." So it was grand. I mean, not that I mind being here at home. I love being at home, but just sitting in a comfortable couch for an hour and a half with my yarn, it was just great. And then Logan arrived, and we went to the movies, and the movie was absolutely breathtaking. Um, I cannot get into this whole discussion as to whether certain people are well represented or not in the film because I don't have all my information. But to have watched that film and to know that it was presented on Broadway and that it won a Tony Award and that it exposed so many people from all over to Latin American culture, rhythms, way of life, feelings, expressions, all kinds of things. Even if somebody feels underrepresented, I mean, that is just so much exposure, and good exposure too. Of course, I insist, you can debate me, and you would probably be entitled to doing that. I have not read that Vox article that I shared with you about everything we need to know about why people are unhappy about the film, but but it was great. And then, of course, I knew that we would be coming out of the movie right around the time when the Folkloric Ballet was going to be performing. So we're coming out of the movie and it's drizzling, but the drizzle did not stop this from happening. Take a look. Little kids! And there were tons of people there. It was so wonderful. And some of the other dancers were in the background getting ready for their turn. So that was a little something that I had to capture and share with you guys because I figured you would want to see it. I frequently, maybe I'm jaded. Maybe I shouldn't be, but when the city and when different companies organize these free events, sometimes I wonder if people find out about them and then if people actually show up. I would hate to be in a folkloric ballet and know that I'm going to be performing for free at a plaza for free and find out that nobody showed up. And people were there. People were there. They were sitting down. They were getting rained on. And the dancers were dancing under the rain. I started walking home afterwards, and it started raining hard enough that I figured, okay, the poor kids, they're going to stop the performance at some point. I hopped on a cab, and I made it home okay. But I was so very happy to see that life and that energy in a public space in our city. It just felt good. And yes, you had your batch of people wearing face masks and your batch of people not wearing face masks, but ultimately, this is the life that we have to live in front of us. So, I wanted to just give you a little bit of a taste of what that was like. I also have a couple of other one, two, three other things that I want to share with you before we get into chit chat mode. The first one, in fear of not having enough information to share with you today, I want to share yet another amazing Vox documentary. Oops, I'm blocking the title. By the amazing Estelle Caswell from Vox. This one is called Quiet Storm: How 1970s R&B changed late night radio. And this is one of so many amazing documentaries that Emmy Award winner Estelle Caswell has prepared for Vox. We've talked about her fascination with different musical topics before, and I'm going to share her website with you so that you can see some of the things that these are some of her favorite subjects or projects from the last few years. How explicit lyric stickers came to be is one of them. Then there's this one about how we all became fascinated with falsetto singing, high-pitched singing in men in pop music. Or this one on why all of a sudden posing on a wicker chair for your album cover became a thing to do in the 1970s. I mean, this woman, and she's young. I would love to take her out for coffee or something because she's so creative, talented, and the way she researches her music-related topics and how she explains them, it is absolutely wonderful. And of course, oh dear, the last headline that I have to share with you has to do with the passing of Jambi, the genie, John Paragon, the actor that performed the role of the genie in Pee-wee's Playhouse, passed away at the age of 66. Meka leka hai, meka hai ni ho. That's all I can say. We've been delighted for years about this particular character. And I know it has nothing to do with Puerto Vallarta, but we quote him so frequently, I thought you would want to know. So, with that said, we are done with the news. So let's take a quick look at your comments. I want to know where your thoughts are, what you're doing, what you're planning for this rainy weekend, and who's here. Let's see. Veronica, I haven't said hello in a while. It's good to see you. It was Albert who said, got my café de olla and a sense of humor for Saturday funnies. Well, I hope we're being funny enough. I really do. Tony says, Feliz Emancipation Day. Well, I think it's Emancipation Day every day. We should just be emancipated. So there. Let's see what else we have. Christy is in San Mateo. Hello, Christy. It's great to see you. Logan hopes that Dolores will not bring any dolores de cabeza or headaches for anybody this weekend. I hear you. Oh, congratulations, Christine, who got her second shot last night. Mazel tov. Let's see. What else do we have? Patty tells us that Dolores has hit land and the trajectory appears to be farther east now. Thank you for the update. Richard comments very wisely. West Told Mountains are like tripping a person for a hurricane unless direct hit from the ocean. Puerto Vallarta does not get as bad as they say, as they get it in San Blas. Absolutely true. And yes, we are very privileged in that regard. Bum, bum. Let's see what else. Working conflict could explain some low numbers in the 40s plus age group. Yes, we have been of this mindset for some time. Logan poses an interesting question. Can employees legally give their employers the ultimatum, if you don't go and take care of this tomorrow, you'll be taken off the schedule until you come back with proof of vaccination? I know this is legal in other countries, just not sure if would fly in Mexico. I don't think that would fly in Mexico, Logan. President Lopez Obrador has made it very clear that he's not mandating the vaccine, just like he's not mandating. Well, they mandate face masks, but it's not like they point a gun on your belly and say wear a face mask or else. I think that would be a little bit controversial, but I sure hope that there aren't bosses out there that are preventing their employees from getting the vaccine. That would be so horrible to learn. Um, mm, Catherine, add some wisdom. Logan, I doubt there is any legislation on that, but as we both know, many businesses don't follow the current employment laws. Oh, don't get me started. Lynn asks, what's with the restaurants in La Isla? Well, again, Lynn, I think it's a combination of the pandemic plus high rents. The rents in shopping centers like La Isla have been very, very high from even before the pandemic started. So it is what it is. They have added a very odd feature at La Isla that I didn't mention just a while ago. They have a farmers market. They've selected a few vendors that are able to sell their handmade chingaderas outside in the market, in the shopping center, which is really weird to me because, I would feel, I don't know if they're paying rent or what the deal is, or maybe that's a way for the shopping center to make a little bit of extra money. But if I was paying high amounts of rent to have my shop at La Isla, and then La Isla, in order to bring in more customers, started allowing vendors to just set up as they set up on the regular farmers market, I would be a little miffed. So I don't know. I suppose we would have to ask more about this. But it was really weird to see this farmers market wannabe, and it's not the first time that I've seen it, so it must be a permanent fixture. Dave says the rents in La Isla are so high that when COVID hit, landlord wouldn't give relief, so it goes. The La Isla restaurants were struggling even before COVID. This is very true. Suzanne says not very interesting. I don't know what you're referring to, but do let me know what it is that you don't find very interesting, Suzanne, because I want to know. What did you not find interesting? Because that way, if you don't find something interesting, then we can try to bring you more interesting things. So, Suzanne, what is it that you don't find very interesting? Let me know. On the other hand, Lynn says, interesting. Thank you very much. Let's see what else. And of course, Suzanne, whatever it is that you didn't find very interesting, you can always take advantage of that moment to get up and refresh your coffee or wash a plate or a dish in the kitchen or simply change the channel. It's no big whoop. Let's see what else we have. Da, 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 da. Nice comments about the traditional dancers. Thank you very much. Logan, who was there with me, yeah, it was nice to see that space being enjoyed again by the public. Absolutely. John has a good point. You're never going to make everyone happy. You can give someone $1,000 and they will complain that it's a check and not cash. Well, yeah, I mean, can anybody make a movie or a musical or anything that is going to make absolutely everybody happy? I seriously doubt it. Da, 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 da. Matthew makes comments on the airlines. Yes, some airlines have better reputation than others. Um, it is what it is. I think they're all risky to one level or another. Let's see what else we have. Um, it would be nice if La Isla would provide a wooden platform to help hear the zapateado better. I totally hear you. It must be very hard on your feet to be dancing the zapateado on concrete. Um, let's see what else. I'm getting to the end of the comments. Suzanne Swallow McMillan, I'm still not knowing what it is that you didn't find interesting. Please let us know. Let's see what else we have. Valerie Healy is new. Yay, I'm new, live here since December and love it and love your show. Welcome, welcome, Valerie Healy. It's great to have you here. This is your show. You make it by your contributions. You make it by your questions, by your suggestions. Dory asks, was the film shown in English or Spanish? The film was shown in English with Spanish subtitles. I would not be able to stomach, personally, watching an English musical in Spanish. That might be a really difficult thing to do. Plus, the lyrics. How on earth do you translate such brilliant lyrics? Let's see what else. Jennifer says, I always find you interesting, Paco. That's why I tune in. Thank you very much. Hey, you guys, disclaimer. It is okay if sometimes I come up with things that you're not interested in. I'm not shading Suzanne, although it's very tempting to do that. I am like the movie. Sometimes you're going to enjoy some parts of it, and sometimes you're not going to enjoy some parts of it. We cannot make everybody 100% happy, and trust me, I'm not losing any sleep over it. But getting feedback from you is always helpful to determine what kinds of things we should be doing more of and what kinds of things we could be doing less of. Let's see what else. I think we're done, and it's 11:05, so I think this is a healthy place to stop the broadcast. As always, it is a pleasure to get together with you. And it is a pleasure to collect information and anecdotes and stories that paint a clear picture of what it's like to live in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. Not so much tourists, but we live here year-round, and many of us do. So this is how we live. This is what we do, or a small slice of what we do. If you enjoy it, it is always a pleasure to have you here. If you enjoy it a lot, it's always a pleasure to rely on your contributions. It is your contributions that keep this broadcast, this project alive. Tomorrow is Sunday. We take a day off. We're going to be crocheting and watching it rain. And we're going to be anticipating, hopefully, fingers crossed, more news from Governor Alfaro as to how we are doing here in Jalisco, and of course here in Puerto Vallarta. And I see more comments. Oh, I don't see anything else. Let's see. Oh, Paul saw Cruella. Cruella's divine. I'm sorry to hear. Well, seeing it in Spanish must have been fun, but you have to see it in English. Absolutely. You have to see it in English. Anyhow, it's great to see you all. It's great to see you here, and I hope to see you again sometime soon, maybe even Monday. Have an awesome rest of the weekend and try to stay dry.